guys. So today we're going to talk about miasms. So what on earth are miasms? They are a concept in homeopathy which you need to be aware of if you want to start getting into homeopathic theory as a patient, or if you are a homeopathic practitioner. You need to clear up the whole concept of miasms, clear up any misunderstandings about the concept of miasms in your head. If you are a patient, or you're like interested in learning about homeopathy, there's a lot of misinformation floating around about miasms, about the concept of miasms. And you really have to be careful to, move towards this subject, or gain information about this subject from credible sources. Don't want to toot my own horn, but I am like one of the credible sources. If you do a search about miasms, or if you look at other people talk about miasms, it's going to be a lot of misinformation. They're going to say that, well, I mean, to give you an example, it's like you might find some people saying that, well, I actually discovered a homeopath talking about himself. I discovered a revolutionary miasmatic treatment method, which is much more effective than regular homeopathy. So if you hear something like that, you got to run away as fast as you can in the opposite direction. Anybody who says anything like that is going to be a grifter, and he just wants to get business, right? He wants customers, and in marketing, slogans like that sound really good. We have the revolutionary method nobody else has, right? So that's, you got to be careful, really careful with that. So with that out of the way, what the hell are these miasm things? Miasms in homeopathy are predispositions to disease, which can be inherited. And our goal in homeopathy, when we're treating a chronic disease, is to clear miasms, because they are the cause of chronic disease. And there's a whole backstory to it, which is not that important. But if you're interested, Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, theorized that these originate from certain venereal diseases and certain skin diseases becoming suppressed deep into the body and being transmitted through the generations and forming certain layers of predisposition. What is a predisposition? It's a weakness in your body which predisposes you, makes you have something makes you more likely to have some kind of disease. The names are, of course, the psoric miasm, the psychotic miasm, and the syphilitic miasm. These correspond to various infectious diseases. It's a long story. You don't have to worry too much about it. Um, Today, I just want to clear up the issue of how do we work with the concept of miasms in homeopathy when we are actually healing someone. Okay, so that's the most important part. We don't need any wild speculation or abstract nonsense. We need to know how this works when you are treating someone. Okay? So, let's get into it. Again, I have as a source, I have Samuel Hahnemann. If you don't know who Samuel Hahnemann is, he is the founder of homeopathy, okay? The founder. I don't think anyone can question the founder of homeopathy unless you're one of those types that says, his Samuel Hahnemann is now obsolete. His material is obsolete, and we have reformed homeopathy to the point where we don't need him. Okay. There are actually people like that. Be careful with people like that and stay away from people like that. Okay. Of course, Wikipedia says he was known for creating the pseudoscientific system of alternative medicine called homeopathy. Okay. And as you might know, he wrote several books where he laid down the basic principles of homeopathy. One of them is the Organon, which I talked about a lot. I talked about that a lot in my previous videos. And that's like the Bible of homeopathy. And today, my source is his other book, which is called Chronic Diseases, where he talks about miasms and stuff. So let's get into it. What do we have to know about miasms? Let's just read this, and then I'm gonna talk about it. If I expect sulfur, sulfur. So this is Hahnemann talking, right? The founder of homeopathy. If I expect sulfur, sulfurous, and in some cases sepia, the other antisoric remedies can seldom be useful given in immediately repeated doses. Indeed, it is hardly ever needed in chronic diseases, as we have a good supply of antisoric remedies at our disposal, so that as soon as one well-selected remedy has completed its action and a change of symptoms, i.e., a change in the total image of the disease, appears, another antisoric remedy, homeopathically appropriate to the altered case, may be chosen to greater advantage, and with a more sure prospect of hastening the cure, that if we take the risk of prescribing the former medicine which now is no longer adequate. Okay, so that's a mouthful, right? I think most people are probably pretty confused right now. Right, so this is archaic. It's archaic English translated from archaic German from the 18th century, right? So that's why it's like this. People used to talk like this, which is actually much better, right? The way people talked back then than the way we talk right now. But anyway, let's see, what is he talking about? So if you have a miasm, like a psoric miasm, which is causing chronic disease for you, then what is the procedure in homeopathy to cure you and clear that miasm? Give one remedy as one well-selected remedy, and then it's going to complete its action. and that you gave that remedy based on the symptom picture. So all the characteristics of a patient you can find about that patient. And then you wait for that remedy to stop working, and then you give another remedy if another picture appears or the patient's characteristics change, and you have to again analyze the patient and gather all the characteristics and select another remedy based on the symptoms of the patient. And so that is what you always have to do in homeopathy. And that is the same when you're treating a miasm or when you're not treating a miasm. And so basically, you're following the symptoms, and that's it. The remedies themselves have anti-miasmatic effects and will clear the miasms if you give the remedies based on the symptom picture. And that's it. Okay? That's kind of simple, right? That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, this is, of course, refuting all the nonsense that is circulating in homeopathy about miasmatic treatment, about people coming out and saying that they have the revolutionary miasmatic treatment method. They don't, right? They're liars. This is what you have to do. Just give remedies based on the symptoms. So if you do a search on the miasmatic treatment, you're going to find all kinds of nonsense, right? People are going to say that you need to clear the miasms first before giving remedies based on the symptom picture. That's nonsense. Or they might say you have to give the patient the nosodes corresponding to the miasms to clear the miasms. That is nonsense. That is not what Hahnemann says. So all the nonsense homeopaths out there, yeah, please react to this video. What do you think? If you want to argue with Hahnemann, tell me your arguments, right? Present your arguments, please. We can have a friendly debate. There's no such thing as clearing the miasms with nosodes, okay? By the way, if you don't know much about homeopathy, what are nosodes? Nosodes are remedies made from the infectious agent of certain diseases, and this infectious agent can correspond with the miasms, right? So certain venereal diseases like gonorrhea, the remedy made from gonorrhea, it corresponds to the psychotic miasm. It's a long story, but all you have to know, if you're a layman, is that nosodes and miasms have been taken by some grifters, and then they blew up this whole topic into like this whole mystical system of miasmatic clearing or whatever that doesn't exist. All you have to do is give remedy based on the symptoms, and then change the remedy, give another one if you have another group of symptoms, and then the miasm is gonna be cleared. Okay? It's kind of a very complicated topic. You know, I might not have done a very good job with this, so maybe this is like my attempt to clarify this issue. I might do another video on this. If you have any questions or like help me what which part I should clarify more or less, then I can adjust my content based on that. So that is Hahnemann, Samuel Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, talking about miasms. Thanks for listening and take care.